Good evening, everybody. I'm back again. Just about an hour ago, I was actually doing a live preview with Sophie for Manchester United Liverpool, and now the World of Football podcast is back. I'm back. Thank you so much to Josh, Reese, Nathan, BBL. Who else was on last week? Honestly, but no, thank you so much for taking over the show last week as well. Yes, as people will see, there is no Josh this evening. Unfortunately, a family event has came up, so he will not be with us. But we have to just continue, and it's nice to be back on hosting duties. So joining me are the regulars. Nathan, how you doing, Nathan?
Really tired, thanks. The season's over for us now, thank goodness. Well, that was a disappointing year, wasn't it? Thanks for having me on as usual, and let's get to it.
Absolute pleasure. I can see my man in the right-hand corner will be a very happy man this evening. Reese, how you doing, Reese?
I'm good, thanks. And yeah, definitely happy. And if you're a Juventus fan, fuck you.
And of course, well, I think we should just call him a regular now on this channel. It is Mr. Connor Niblett from the Cop Council. Thank you so much for coming in for Josh as well. How you doing, Connor?
I'm doing very well, thank you, mate. Regular, that should be a common thing now. Come on now. Now, look, football's nearly over and done with this season. Being a Liverpool fan, thank God. But look, we still got European Championships to go, so at least we can have a summer full of football anyway. That'd be kind of nice. But yeah, thank you for having us on again, mate.
Oh, absolute pleasure. I will say hello to a few of you because there have been loads of comments coming in as well. Hello to Helen, Diego, James, Seamus, Hella, good evening as well. Yeah, there's a few of you, Mike Green as well. So we'll have to start with the Premier League review. Now, I think there's only one place to start with, and it was the dress rehearsal, I think you should probably say, in the Champions League final that Manchester City lost 2-1 to Chelsea. Now, Nathan, were you surprised of how much rotation Pep did in his squad this week?
Yeah, I was quite surprised. I thought they really throw out full strength here, but Pep must have a plan. Maybe he's giving Chelsea the last laugh before they go into the Champions League final. They put out their full strength. Absolutely throw it out to them, but come on, Man City. They could have had the title yesterday. You could say Man United ended up coming back against Villa. They've got a few more fixtures to go. Aguero, but they move. They're going to win the title. So there we go. At least we got our early previews to the Champions League final. If it finishes like that, it could be a very tasty affair. Let's just say.
Reese, has Tuchel got Pep's number?
Well, he's beaten them twice, but they've been in different circumstances. But until he beats them, unless he beats them in the Champions League, I'm going to say at the moment no, because one game it was full strength to a degree, the other it was heavy rotation. I think you'll see both teams go full strength, you would expect both teams to go full strength in the Champions League final. But at the moment, I'm just going to say still, he's in his head. But he doesn't have his number yet. Not until he beats him in the Champions League final. I'm going to say no, not at the moment.
Yeah, Connor, that penalty. The one thing you don't do is try Panenka and it doesn't come off. You look a completely silly man, don't you?
I think you try it at like 4-5-0. You don't try it when you're 1-0 up. And look, I think City have become too comfortable. They know they're Premier League champions. They haven't got nothing really to fight for. And I think Aguero, and plus Aguero's going, isn't he? So he's like, oh, I'm just gonna, do whatever I can. But look, with Manchester City, like I said, they've become that comfortable now that a loss against Chelsea is just, it's just another game. What they need, like what, two points is it to become champions, something like that.
2 points,
so,
yeah.
Yeah. So look, it's just another one of those games for them, and they'll just probably next game they'll batter whoever they got and be crowned Premier League champions, which it's just sad on my part because Liverpool get to be champions for like one more game this season and then that's it. So yeah.
Well, we play 3 times. We play 3 times before Man City play. If we win those 3 games, we'll be 4 points behind City.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's done though. It's done.
It depends on what happens against Leicester because we're beating Liverpool.
I tell you something though. I could actually see Newcastle getting something off City. I could. Matthew McFadden, good evening to you. Would rather join the Super League than miss a Panenka penalty. That's says
No
it all.
chance.
Ouch.
I can imagine how pissed off Pep must have been with Aguero's pen. Look, I think everyone would probably do it. I still back City to win the Champions League, says Seamus.
I
don't either.
It's going to be tight.
It'll be a tight game. It'll be a very, very tight game. But yeah, I think City will have that league wrapped up. But it would make it very, very interesting if United were to get 4 points behind them, and then that would be very, very interesting. But I think City play before United again, so we shall see. But yeah, speaking of Newcastle, shock result of the week, I think. Going to Leicester and winning by 4-2. Now, to go 4-0 up against Leicester. I mean, look, Leicester's home form hasn't been the best, right? But nobody in their wildest imaginations would have actually expected Newcastle to go 4-0 up against Leicester. I know Leicester got a couple of goals back after that, but it's another sign, Nathan, that their home form this season, Leicester, has been very, very critical for them to get top 4.
It absolutely has. And in a way, you could say that no fans being there has massively cost them. They bring that great atmosphere to the King Power Stadium every week. But then again, they have those clappers. Minus that, it's still unbelievable if you go there. I mean, look at it during the Premier League winning season. But look, Leicester, they throw out these funny results, don't they? Especially in the last few weeks. Who was it they lost to before then? My mind just gone. Because I believe they lost the week before to a banana skin team as well, you could say.
Oh.
Because I know that I'll search it up now. But
they did. Their home form has been very, very poor, though. For sure. Connor, is it going to happen again for Leicester, or do you think they're just going to scrape top 4?
I think it's very possible they could do it again. Well, they've got clearly history of missing out on the top 4, and if they do, I would be very surprised and shocked again, but I wouldn't be at the same time because it happened last season, and the fact that yes, Leicester have had injuries, but that's all you've heard from Leicester fans in particular is, top 4, we're going to get it. And it's if they are the ones that miss out, I think that will probably be the biggest shocker this season, more than anything.
Yeah, definitely. Reese, what do you think? Do you think Leicester will get top 4?
No, Leicester won't get it. No, wow. I think I'm sticking to who I said it will be. It's going to be West Ham. West Ham are going to take that top 4 spot off them. I'm 100% confident in West Ham.
Very interesting. Matthew McFadden's actually asked a very interesting question. Has Brendan Rodgers ever won a game in the last part of a season? Guy absolutely bottles it from March onwards every single year.
Not that I can think of.
And I will
have to
unfortunately say this now. At the Jacks.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Rodgers is an absolute bottle job. He's perfect for the Spurs job.
Well, we will come on to Spurs very, very shortly. Evening, Doug, Nathan, evening, Connor, evening, Reese, says Nipun Sharma. Hope you're doing well. Diego says, keep hitting the likes and share the live streams on all platforms. Thank you very much, Diego. I appreciate that. Leicester City final fixtures are tough, I believe, says AD744. Yes. Manchester United, Chelsea, and Tottenham. Good luck. If someone will get the final top 4 spot, I think it will be Liverpool. Chelsea have got 3rd, says James Dunlop.
No, it will not be Liverpool. No, Liverpool are out the top 4 race. They're out.
It'll all depend on Thursday. It'll all depend on Thursday.
Liverpool need to win 4 out of 4, which I think we've won 3 games on the bounce all season long. So it's highly unlikely Liverpool are getting top 4.
You lose Thursday, you're out. Like, there's no
Yeah,
doubt about it.
100%. 100%.
If the game goes on, there's still a possibility the game might get cancelled again.
There is a chance, yes, that it could be.
I have seen today that apparently there's big barriers around Old Trafford and around
It's not gonna
Munich.
stop them.
It won't stop them.
No, definitely. Hella says West Ham has a pretty easy ride ahead. I think they'll make the top four. AD744 says I think Leicester City narrowly makes top four. And then Seamus Moore says we have to win the rest of our games. Can't see it happening. Well, especially because we are already relegated. West Brom on Sunday. We've got Burnley on Wednesday, and I think we finish with Palace as well. Speaking
I think
of...
he'll beat West Brom. But he'll draw to Burnley.
Yeah, I
Burnley
think
is
so
a
as well.
massive banana skin.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Well, let's talk about Spurs because they managed to beat Leeds 4-0 earlier in the season, and then they go and lose 3-1 at Elland Road. Oh, Nathan. I cannot predict Leeds United games this season. You just don't know what Leeds is going to turn up.
Exactly. But then again, you got to look at it this way. Marcelo Bielsa versus a 29-year-old Ryan Mason. It's not going to end well tactically. Leeds, they set it up the right way, got the flying attack, as I always say, starting games flying, had it all working out nicely. Their defence, you just don't know if it's going to turn up. If it does, then it's superb. But Tottenham, I think it's just the lack of tactical experience that they've narrowly missed out on there. And Leeds, they just had it set up correct at the end of the day.
Yeah, Reece, that's now Leeds United unbeaten versus all the top six at home this season. Very, very impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't deny that from a rival's perspective. They've certainly done better at home than they have away from home. I don't see this form continuing next season, but fair play to them. Still hate them, but fair play to them.
Yeah. Connor, I mean, there is a slight chance that they could finish top 10. Do you think they could?
No. I think Leeds are way too unpredictable. I think that's just been their season in a whole. But look, I think Leeds, and Bielsa, he's done a fantastic job. I think it's always hard for the winners of the championship to come up and then try and stay up. But Leeds have just, managed to, take it to that next level in terms of being in the conversation for top 10, at least. And look, in terms of Spurs, they're just a sinking ship at the minute, aren't they? Because every single person that's being linked with that job is slowly but surely, going away. And it would not surprise me if Ryan Mason took that full time, because nobody wants that job.
I don't think that's too bad a shout as well. Matthew McFadden says Mason went from the North London Nagelsmann to the Southern Alan Pardew real quick. Feel sorry for him. Hi Chris Welsh. Hi lads, hope you're all well. We are doing Tickety-boo, my friend. The other game on Saturday, there was a 3:00 kickoff, and really, I think everyone probably predicted this, was Sheffield United 0, Crystal Palace 2, goals from Benteke. Yeah, and Eze
Miracle
as well. I know that with Palace has been a big talking point, but are we now closing down to the tenure of Roy Hodgson, Nathan?
Absolutely, I can definitely see him going at the end of the season. I think he's going to retire. He's done what he can at Palace. He's still grinding out the results, though. They're playing his football. Eze, when he came up from the Championship from QPR, bearing in mind he was unbelievable down in the Championship, but coming into the Premier League, he suited it well. Anyone who can get Benteke scoring goals is just a miracle worker, quite frankly, as well, considering what happened after he left the likes of Liverpool. Not scoring for Palace, but how is he doing this still? But Hodgson, he's done what he can. I think he's going to leave for flesh. Well, they need to freshen it up at the end of the season. But if you really look at their squads and the way it's going, a lot of areas are aging. If they lose Zaha, they're in massive trouble here. But
I disagree.
Yeah.
Really?
I disagree.
You disagree?
I think they're better without that overrated piece of crap. I think they're actually better without Zaha. Like the way Eze played on that left wing at the weekend, I think he's far better than Zaha is any day. I think if they moved Zaha on and actually got some a bit of fresh blood in there, you'd actually see a better Crystal Palace squad. I think they're generally better without him. He's absolutely woeful.
I will have to say I have to agree with Reese on that, because I have seen Wilfried Zaha at his absolute worst in a Cardiff shirt, where he literally just ended up going back, and I never thought that we'd ever see him play as well as he did. And when he went to Crystal Palace full time, especially in the Championship as well, when he played for him. But it really depends if they get in. If they get another Frank de Boer, they're going straight back down to the Championship and losing that. Some quality players they got in their squad, but they need something in midfield and at the back as well, just to retain that sort of mid-table status they need. And they need to get a quality manager in. Get an Eddie Howe. He'd be so really suited for that job. Or maybe, Steve Cooper, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Just getting him out of Swansea.
I think if he doesn't take the Celtic job, it'll be Eddie Howe. If he doesn't take that Celtic job, I think it will be. I think it will be Eddie Howe. And it's a smart decision because they play the same system. They play the same style of football.
Could anyone
suited to it.
Could anyone see Rafa taking the job at all?
No.
I doubt it for Palace, no.
Not at Palace, I don't think.
He'll go. If Arteta gets sacked, he'll go to Arsenal.
Frank Lampard's the favourite, I think. Diego, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat if Frank Lampard. I did read Frank Lampard was the favourite, and then I think it was Eddie Howe. But
what's Lampard favourite for? Favourite for getting them relegated? Lampard would get Crystal Palace relegated.
There's a lot of people agreeing with you, Reese. Christopher says, I agree with Reese. Can't believe people rate Zaha, in my opinion. Matthew McFadden says, Reese gets it. Reese gets it. Zaha reminds me of Memphis. Suits being a big fish in a small pond. Strikes me as someone who wouldn't do well at all in a good team.
These are my people. They understand me.
Aye. Zaha's not crap. He's done well for Palace, but I do agree my Palace need to move on from Wilf. Palace should cash in for Zaha personally so they can strengthen in areas they need to improve. Zaha, 25 appearances, 10 goals, 2 assists, top scorer. Interesting. Correct. Lamps, Eddie Howe, and Vieira in the hat, says Diego.
I don't know if Vieira would be a good fit for them personally. The style of football
is experienced in to overhaul it, I think.
He's similar to De Boer, except he's similar to De Boer in terms of he likes the possession football, but he likes powerful midfielders in there. I don't know if he would get the back-in by whoever owns Crystal Palace. I don't know if they would back him enough to get him what he wants.
I don't think Steve Parrish should back him.
Yeah, and the money that the only risk that they're going to get is 30-40 million if they're lucky for Zaha. But even that's not enough to rejuvenate that squad to what he wants as a manager. And you've already seen what he's done at Nice. He's not good enough. Like he is. No. He's tipped for the Man City job in the future. Maybe like a Man City B team, like they're under 23s, but as a manager of their main team, not worth it. And Arsenal fans wanted him at Arsenal a few years ago. Like as a steadying the ship manager, like you won't be steadying the ship. I'll tell you that for starters.
Matthew McFadden is similar to De Boer, the ultimate insult for football managers.
Yeah, I mean, look at what he's done since he won that four in a row. Like for Ajax team, he's done nothing, and he's actually in charge of the Dutch national team.
Yeah.
God.
Chris Ralph said Palace needs to move on from Roy Hodgson, have a nice rest from football management, sit back, have a nice coffee, watch football on the TV. Yeah,
Roy Hodgson will do a Sir Alex Ferguson. He'll turn up to games and instead of sitting there peacefully, be sitting there going, Christ, why am I not at the pub?
But a good weekend for Liverpool, Connor. 2-0 win over Southampton. Oh my goodness me. Like, it was nervy, but we managed to get the 3 points in the end. Sadio Mane getting the goal against his former club, and Thiago Alcantara getting his first goal for Liverpool. What did you make of the performance? Because I thought it was quite shaky in parts.
It's probably one of our best performances of the season because the season's been that crap. But it's been, to be fair, I feel like the entire game we were in control apart from moments, and the moments that Southampton had were very good chances that Alisson had to save us, a couple of times. And I think that's what you need mainly is, I know Liverpool's season's been terrible, but you need the world-class goalkeeper in Alisson just to show his class. And look, I'm over the moon that Mane got his goal, especially Thiago as well, because I think he's had a bit of unfair criticism throughout the season. And Look, I think this season now, I agree with everyone in the chat and all the boys. Liverpool top 4 is done. I don't think we are going to get top 4. I think now the most important thing is for Liverpool is just to wrap everyone in cotton wool and just prepare for next season, because we'll have Virgil back, we'll have Joe Gomez back, we'll hopefully be signing Konate and a couple of other key signings, and it is now just get everyone in bubble wrap, don't risk anyone, and just focus on next season now, forget about this season and just move on.
Yeah, absolutely. There are people saying about Alisson. Can we just firstly say congratulations to Alisson Becker and his wife Natalia, who have welcomed a baby son, and also congratulations to Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and Perry Edwards, who are both expecting their first child as well. So Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain becoming a dad, and Alisson getting another son. So yeah, it's good news all around for everyone associated with Liverpool. The man to my right, though, do you want to just tell the viewers what your prediction was for that game?
Oh no!
Wait, who, me or Reese?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't actually remember.
It was 1-0 Southampton.
Oh no!
What happened there? Honestly,
I'll forgive you because you haven't actually gone against Liverpool many times this season. So
no.
I
don't know why. I just thought.
To be fair to Nathan, every single other game has been 1-0 to the other team. So that's just how bad this season's gone.
You've done a Brighton to me, honestly, because whenever I say that they're going to win, they get destroyed. And whenever I say they're going to get absolutely destroyed, they win 1-0.
Win, yeah.
Yeah, Matthew McFadden piping up here, only beating Southampton by 2 goals. Poof, amateurs.
Remember, it was 1-0 down Old Trafford.
Yeah, I would not be surprised to see next season if Arsenal get relegation next season. That club has run so badly in the last couple of years. Wow. Mm-hmm. I don't see that somehow, but you never know. Brilliant link-up play between Mane and Salah. It's all relative. Alisson was good. Wasn't convincing win, in my opinion. Very lucky Southampton didn't finish their roast dinner, so lucky for us, we finished our roast dinner first in the end. That's very, very true. Mane back among the goals is crucial.
It could be worse. You could be predicting a Southampton win and edit your scores.
Very good. I like that. Oops, a minute. The post interview from Thiago was very good. Yes. Did you see Thiago's interview, Connor?
Which one?
The Sky one.
Yes, I did. The thing is with Thiago, he just makes you smile, no matter whatever he says. That's the best thing about Thiago is the fact that this season it's been that bad that just whenever he does anything good or a pass or anything it just makes you smile. That's how bad the season's been.
Yeah,
just everything that Thiago does makes me smile.
Diego C. Palace, is it true Carragher's son may be going to Everton? Yes, I have heard James Carragher might be going to Everton. Will Van Dijk be available for the Euros? Asks Paul. No,
he's miles off.
There's no way he's going to go or be allowed to go.
No, definitely not. The only thing we're celebrating this season is Alisson and Ox partners having babies. Yeah. It's weird that Liverpool with so many injuries in defence are going for Konate, who's missed 150 days this season alone with recurring muscle injuries. Oh, Christ.
That's correct.
Nipun says, I would love it if Arsenal got relegated. You see Arteta getting the sack, asks Hela.
Nippun's the Chelsea fan that doesn't even recognise Spurs as a rival. But he likes West Ham as a second team.
Oh no.
Yeah,
he's an interesting Chelsea fan.
we will get to Arsenal very, very soon. AD744 is asking, do you expect any of the Liverpool trio to be sold this summer?
No.
Yeah, Mane.
No.
He's not going. No way.
Absolutely not. No one is leaving. None of the front three are leaving Liverpool. can tell you that.
I wouldn't count on it.
Klopp is an excellent manager, but as Liverpool fans, do you think he's a bit set in his ways formation?
I'll tell you next season.
Klopp's equivalent of a plan B is playing the PlayStation, because he does not have a plan B. He's just sitting on these controllers in his hands or drinking a beer.
Chris Welsh applauding the wee dig from Reese about the predictions. If Arteta ends up at my palace, cancel football, please, says Diego. Oh dear. Klopp's German. Germans are by nature set in their ways. Konate was also out for over 200 days in 2019-2020, as well as picking up another injury that season. Avoid him like the plague.
Yeah,
well,
I can agree with that.
The problem is with that, though, if you're taking that off transfer market, they did include the summer in that as well. So he missed the end of the season, but he was back a week. I think a week. And
he didn't last long.
A week after the season. But it's like they do include the summer as well and the off time as well. So you do have to take that into consideration. But yeah, he does have a known injury record. Let's just say that at least.
Yeah, definitely. If Salah does move to PSG, that ain't happening. Who will replace him?
No way.
Oba or Dzeko? No. On this season, Manny been playing his own version of Where's Wally, which pains me to say. This is Lucas' life doing okay.
Mourinho next year, he'll be buzzing.
This is Lucas' life doing okay. I hope you're doing well. And Matthew McFadden is telling Connor off. Connor, stop ruining my agenda.
Sorry about that.
Now let's go to Wolves against Brighton, because Wolves came back from a goal down to beat Brighton by 2-1. Now, significant this. Neil Maupay is the only player this season to have conceded a penalty after the final whistle and to be sent off after the final whistle. And Lewis Dunk was obviously sent off. Nathan, you've just hit the nail on the head. You just cannot predict Brighton games.
I mean, the expected goal's still high for the football hipsters out there, right? Graham Possible. It's
Jesus Christ.
It's an absolute myth, honestly. I mean, Swansea, they were absolutely raving about it. Where did they finish? They finished mid-table in the Championship with Man United players, Premier League standard players in that team, and they couldn't even get it anywhere near the playoffs. Style of football means nothing in football unless you actually win games. I don't know why people rave about this man so much. Honestly, yes, he plays some pretty football, but he doesn't win the pretty games, does he? But Wolves, they've been completely dire recently as well. Yes, they've had some good glimpses, but they're not picking up the wins. This was a game that Brighton needed to win. Nope. Wolves won it. And they deserve to win the end.
And also, Reese, Lewis Dunk scoring and getting sent off in the same game as well.
Yeah, cool, beautiful. Significance behind it is like Brighton. They're a stat man's wet dream. Like, if it comes to like the stats, like of the XG and all that crap, it's such a pointless argument. Like XG, because like, oh, you're expecting the amount of chances you create to lead to goals. Well,
at least it doesn't.
Yeah,
mean,
but
like,
where are you in the league though?
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Possession is the one that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it's so pointless. Like that argument. Like anyone that talks to me about XG, I'm like, well, yeah, you're not exactly doing anything. I mean, people like. For me, it's pointless. I refuse to get the conversations about XG. Like I just do not bother.
Let me give you an example of this. Let me take
Jamie Vardy's 5.19 behind his XG. I know that.
Yeah, there's another good one. Let me bring Kenwyne Jones in, for example. XG high as everything, high as anything. But when you look at his goal scoring record and when he actually plays football, half of the shots ended up in row Z, even over the roof of Vitality Stadium. Doesn't work.
It's the argument itself, like it's the amount of like chance you create which lead to goals. But frankly, if that's the case, then Brighton should be in like the top 6 of the amount of XG they've got. Like they always get like 4+ a game, but
yeah, Chris,
they're such an average team.
Chris Welsh is saying Brighton don't have a proven goal scorer. Yeah, I would agree with that. Matthew McFadden says, you disagree?
Yes, Neil Maupay should be doing much better. He was absolutely superb in the Championship for the 2 seasons he was at Brentford. Yes, he's allergic to playing in Wales, let's just say. But I don't know why his form hasn't come over to the Premier League properly.
Yeah, it's
just not good enough.
To be playing better.
It's a very strange one. Matthew McFadden knows Mopey's stats are music to my ears. Scored a few goals against big teams and started celebrating like he won the World Cup. Fraud. Made my weekend with Brighton losing, says Diego. Don't take notice of XG, to be honest, says Chris Welsh.
I'm the same. It's like
Never thought
we'd get how many times we talk about it.
Matthew McFadden never thought we'd get a Kenwyne Jones discussion in 2021, but here we are. Yeah, and the rarity of that, Connor, is that Adama Traore and Morgan Gibbs-White were the goal scorers for Wolves at the weekend.
Bloody Adama Traore. Bloody, what was it, like not a goal in like a whole season nearly?
Sorry to interrupt. We've got a pace merchant scoring, and we've got an injury-prone former Swansea player who somehow, I need to get this out of my head on this podcast. I know I'm talking about Cardiff again, I'm sorry, but I hear Swansea fans saying that this injury-prone mess, don't get me wrong, he could have a great season ahead of him or a great career ahead of him, is better than Victor Camarasa in the Premier League. Come on!
I don't know why you're apologising. You're a fucking Cardiff fan. Like, it's welcome.
Thank you. I had to get it out there.
Jesus,
I was absolutely
like if you were
I saw this earlier.
If you were a Juventus fan, I would expect you an apology for supporting a shite club, but you support Cardiff, I'll let you off.
Thank you.
Yeah. Adama does absolutely nothing up until the last few weeks. He's a reverse Brendan Rodgers, says Matthew.
No. Oh boy,
he is such an overrated player. Adama Traore. I do not know what people are seeing him.
It's his end product. He just cannot seem to get that ball in the back of the net.
Well, he's a player that's worth 75 million, and compared that to other players that are worth 75 million, I don't know where they've come with that valuation.
I think it's just 75 million in steroids.
Oh no!
Pete Shepherd has said Adama Traore's mum has already sold all his rookie cards.
To be fair, I see where Chris is coming from, but I sort of disagree with his point, because you look at what Timo Pukki did in the Premier League. He got 20 odd goals in a relegated Norwich team, and he also got like 20 odd goals in the Championship. So he sort of averages it out. So I get his point, but I also kind of disagree at the same time, because there's some players that have proven it.
But then he's gone and said Adama and Zaha are pace merchants. I would agree.
I don't know what Zaha's pace is.
I see Zaha is a bit more end product at times, but it's just the way he plays and how you use him as well. I mean, Solskjaer can't use him. I will say this right now. And if he went to Man United, he would flop. I mean,
James.
We've worked together before, and that was a mistake.
James Dunlop. Traore is a speedy Alex Iwobi. End product. Shite.
That's probably extremely accurate.
Yeah, I would agree. Aston Villa 1, Manchester United 3. The big news for Manchester United fans is that Edinson Cavani has signed a new contract at Manchester United. Race, you must be absolutely over the moon with us.
I'm happy with that. He's such a quality player. And to those that doubted him at the start of the season, I want to hear the apologies live. I want to hear it, because he's such a quality player. 8 months he has not played a game for, and he came in, bit of minutes here and there, slotted in, scored a goal when he needed to, and then after that he was out of the team for a little bit, playing here and there. And then the past 2 months he's been pretty much what you saw at Napoli, like he's in last year at Napoli and his years at PSG. He's just turned into what he was supposed to be, and he's such a professional. Like, I think the one thing you cannot question about him is his professionalism and his work rate. The man is an absolute machine, and he moves like a 25-year-old, even though he's 34.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my goodness, Matthew McFadden. Traore is Brock Lesnar with running shoes on.
He's got but Brock Lesnar's got a bit of end product. Eventually,
that's true. Nipun Sharma has said Adama Traore equals Spanish Iwobi. Matthew McFadden, has it been a better panic buy than Cavani?
Has there been a better panic buy? I'm just trying to think.
What, for Manchester United or just in general?
I think Ederson's probably a panic buy. Ederson was a definite panic buy.
Yeah.
What's his puss was crap for them in his first year. It's been that long, I can't remember his name. He was clearly a panic because that's not the sort of thing that you would go for. 21-year-old who's unproven as such. I would class him as a panic buy, but he's actually turned out to be brilliant. I think Cavani's just the perfect free agent.
Yeah. I can't really think. I can't really think of anyone. But the last person that came to my mind was Arshavin.
I don't know if he was a panic, but I don't know if he would be a panic buy though. I thought he was actually a very smart signing.
He was bought in the very early hours of the morning on transfer deadline.
Maybe Robinho from Man City. That was
that's
just
a shout. That's
yes.
a shout. That's a shout. Yeah.
They wanted Berbatov.
Hela says he deserves scoring at a packed Old Trafford. Yeah, I would agree with that. Aaron Guy, yes. What's this? I just yes, don't think we need to even do predictions for the Pro Man United game, as another protest looks likely. I had predicted a 3-1 Manchester United win. Luke Shaw man of the match for me, says Diego. Was completely against Sinus Cavani when we did so. His injury record and deceiving goal record were big worries, but he suited our team really well. Give us a new attacking outlet. Didn't buy him either, says Hella. Manchester United should get Rice, Sancho, and another striker in the transfer window, says Diego. Should Che Adams start at the Euros? Che Adams will definitely start for Scotland.
Absolutely. If he does not start and you start that complete moron up front, then honestly,
he won't go.
All hopes.
That moron ain't going. That moron's dead. He ain't going.
He's injured, and after the
allegations
clips
the other day,
after the clips today, I don't think he'll be in a Scotland squad for a long, long time. Pete Shepherd's asked, would United have finished second this season without Cavani?
Absolutely not. No, we would not have. No way, because relying too much on the goals of Fernandes, we would have finished probably fourth.
This is what United have been crying out forever for, especially the latter years coming towards the end of the decade. You need that out-and-out striker where you can just flesh out loads of goals from. Not sort of like a pacey Rashford, but someone who is built to score goals. A bit less pace, but someone who can just score. That's what you needed, and you got him.
Oh, here's an interesting question, Reese. Aaron Guy has said Tierney may be pushed into a DM role at the Euros, lads.
No, like I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, like I think the way it's going at the Euros, if the way he's been playing lately, I think he might start ahead of Robertson, because Robertson's not been great past couple of games, to be honest. For Liverpool, I don't think he's actually been particularly great. He could end up starting ahead of him.
I think Rob. I massively disagree with that. I think Rob has been one of our best players.
The problem with that is he is Scotland captain.
I doubt it though. Yeah,
I can't.
There's a chance though.
Yeah. Matthew Mafari, with Martial's shocking season and late injury, we'd be competing for top four at best without Cavani. I would agree. I would definitely agree. Bluebird legend, was Berbatov a late panic buy for Man United?
Well, there's a similar circumstance with Van Persie. Like Man City wanted both strikers, we ended up getting them. So I would honestly say perhaps they were.
Not a bad panic buy though. Berbatov was fantastic for United
until his last season.
Chris Welsh, I said Cavani was a good signing when United signed him. There was people saying another Falcao. Falcao just didn't work out in the Premier League, unfortunately for him. Yeah, for United and Chelsea, I remember that.
Cavani's knee injury was Pogba's. Not fucking hell. Falcao's knee injury was a problem for him. Like that's just what it was. He just didn't get back to his best until he went back to Monaco.
Yeah, Robertson is Scotland captain, says Seamus Moore. Yep, definitely. Would Klopp or Ollie be interested in Tierney? He's a great prospect, great play.
I don't see him turning at either club.
The only place I could see Tierney going to is Man City, because they just need a left back, and they'll pay wherever you want.
Yeah,
I don't know if they'll sign a left back because Zinchenko's had a brilliant season.
True, but
you would expect them to. You would expect them to, though.
But Mendy is just too injury prone, isn't he? I don't think they can lie on Zinchenko for the entirety of the season, because they could put Laporte. They could put Laporte there and look for another centre back if they really wanted to. But
Nathan Ake.
Yeah, Ake as well.
Forgot about Nathan Ake.
I don't know what they'll do, but they do need something.
Berbatov is the most underrated player in the last 20 years. Changed my mind, says Matthew McFadden.
I wouldn't say
Not
underrated.
really.
Interesting.
No,
would Martial
I wouldn't say underrated at all.
would Martial have played better if Cavani hadn't come in? Martial doesn't do competition, does he? Sadly, says Hella.
Spot on.
Tierney's a good player, but his injury record is a worry. Yep, I would agree with that.
Yep.
City won't sign a left back, says Pete Shepherd. City played Cancelo left back 2 at times. Zinchenko has been class. The 2 big downsides with Tierney is injuries and the fact he's unbelievably one-footed, still a very solid player. They could also play Ake as a backup left back. Controversial opinion, says Nipoon. Konate over Upamecano.
100%.
Bolt. Bolt now.
I hate to say this, Connor, but Everton actually helped us at the weekend by beating West Ham by 1-0. A really good finish from Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Are we a bit worried about West Ham's form at this present time?
No. I think West Ham, they have the easiest run out of all of the top 4 contenders. And look, if David Moyes manages to get top 4 for West Ham, then fair play. Because what an outstanding job. And for me, David Moyes, even though he is a former Manchester United manager, for me is manager of the season because he's done an outstanding job at West Ham.
Yeah.
And look, I think the crucial thing is now, though, for West Ham, if they did get into the Champions League, is how they invest the money, because they clearly need to bolster that squad up for next season. And as we've seen from their track record, they've signed players not very well. Of course, they got rid of Sebastian Haller, and they got rid of him to Ajax. And will they make that type of mistake again? Potentially, but then you'd hope not in that case as well. And realistically, I'm happy for West Ham fans because they got to put up with so much crap from their owners. It's ridiculous, and it's just nice for them to get. If they did get top 4, it'd be outstanding for them.
Yeah, Pete Shepherd has come up with one of the worst suggestions for a panic buy. One of the worst panic buys in Premier League history was City buying Mangala.
I wouldn't call that a panic buy at all. Pellegrini wanted him, and he was willing to spend 42 million on him. I wouldn't call that. I would say Demichelis was a bloody panic buy. Imagine wanting to win a league title with Demichelis, for fuck's sake.
He wasn't great. Neither Tierney nor Robbo are droppable, and Robbo obviously stays a left back. Hence, I reckon Tierney in the DM role, especially against England, to nullify Kane, as he'd have experience against him in North London derbies.
I wouldn't trust Tierney in the DM role though. I wouldn't play him there. We don't even play a defence midfielder anyway. We play two midfielders behind an attacking midfielder.
Yeah.
When you just play five,
I wouldn't see it.
When you just play 5 at the back and Tierney at left-sided centre back with
that's what we'll do.
Back.
That's what we'll do. Yeah.
I can actually see that. West Ham are the only team that can realistically get 4th, says Seamus. Ricky Swift, Andy Carroll was a terrible panic buy. Yeah, don't remind us.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Andy
that
Carroll.
Bloody donkey.
How was he worth more than Luis Suarez? That's what I always want to know.
English.
Yeah, 22.8 million we paid Ajax for Luis Suarez. We defended well yesterday. West Ham just couldn't break us down, says James Dunlop. If Moyes gets West Ham into the Champions League, should he get manager of the season over Pep? 100%. Mr. Kean Dolan has arrived. I am fierce late. Well, don't worry about that. Chris Welch has asked, will Manchester United play... The comment just went away. Will Manchester United play a weekend team against Leicester, Reece, with the schedule you have got?
Nah, I reckon you'll see a fair amount of rotation in that. Yeah, I agree, sorry, yeah. Heavy rotation. I reckon there'll be about 4 or 5 changes in there. I still expect the main 3 to start. Cavani, Pogba, Bruno. But apart from that, I don't see much else. As long as Alex can't defend Telles doesn't start, I'm happy. Because
he's awful. He is god awful. I actually cannot believe he signed him.
He's the only reason he is. The only reason he is liked by our fan base is because he's got looks.
Because of the man bun.
Awful. No, just that he actually looks like a good human being. I'll give him credit. He actually looks all right, but he is absolutely crap. I hope we get rid of him in the summer. I hope we do.
James Dunlop has said, I hope West Ham do get top 4. I still have respect for Moyes and what a job he's done. Pete Shepherd says it was a panic buy, Reece, because we desperately needed a centre-back and we didn't do our due diligence and we paid too much for a bum. I
don't know, because he had a good season for Porto. And then you went out and bought him. He's actually won the league with Mangala. So I don't know if that's realistically a panic buy. I think getting Damien Chelsea, who was a passed at centre back just to fill in when necessary, was a panic buy because he was woeful in certain games. I mean, he got destroyed in a Manchester derby, for God's sake.
Yeah,
I wouldn't necessarily put Mangala as a panic buy. I would just say he was a crap signing.
Matthew McFadden, I personally don't get the obsession with wanting centre backs or full backs to play at DM. If there's any other position full backs could do well in, it's a box to box role with the energy they bring. Aaron Guy is saying, Ricky, you're saying sausage head Carol Law, but imagine Naby lad. Oh jeez. Moyes deserves manager of the season even if West Ham don't get 4th. I totally agree, considering they almost went down as well. We'll play a weaker side against Leicester for sure. Expect Diallo and Shore Tyre to get some minutes. Fringe players on against Leicester, says Hella Karlstad. Evening to Buzzy B Popman, hope you're doing well, my friend. Saw you on Zane's channel. Naby Keita wasn't a panic buy though, Aaron. That deal was done a full year. The comments are going up really quickly before I even pulled out the Liverpool shirt. Stick Tellers on the left wing and to be among the best in the league. It's helped Marcus Alonso, isn't it? So, you know that's for sure. Yay, boys in. Hopefully Manchester United will rotate against Leicester, as that's the only way that we will win without Evans. Oh, is Evans out? Oh, that's a massive blow, that one.
Yeah, he's out. So is Maguire. So both teams will have like their main centre-back out.
Only one club from Manchester can make good signings from the Portuguese league. Yeah. Absolutely. I think Moyes deserves it for even making Europe. West Ham fans were nervous about relegation battle start of the season. A disciplined fullback can play at DM as long as that player remains disciplined, says Bluebird legend. Connor is a big lover of Naby Keita. I've had my opinions on Keita. I'll leave it there. And another team have been relegated from the Premier League. West Brom were relegated yesterday after a 3-1 defeat to Arsenal, and it kind of just sums up when Willian gets his first goal for Arsenal, and my fantastic free kick as well. Nathan, where did it all go wrong for West Brom?
Well, they made the number one mistake that happens when you bring in Big Sam. They don't back him. They didn't even back Sam Bilic at the start of the season. Sacked him for no reason. Stupid move. They pay the price for getting relegated. And who on earth are they going to get in? We don't know. They're not coming straight back up either way.
Good.
Connor, Big Sam wants to leave already. Surprised?
No,
absolutely not. I agree with Nathan. Very, very harsh on Slaven Bilic. Look, I think they got rid of him a game after drawing on Man City away. Which is just ridiculous looking back at it. And I'm glad West Brom is down. Sorry, West Brom fans. I hate West Brom in the Premier League. I just do.
I'm sorry. I've just seen this from Matthew. I've had a genuine question. Why do West Brom exist? Their mascot is a boiler. They should face automatic liquidation for that.
Oh no.
I absolutely agree with that.
But is there really any positives for West Brom to take from this season, Reece?
They let go of a good manager who can go to a better club. And that's a positive for West Brom at least. I think if they kept Slaven Bilic, they wouldn't have got relegated. Because at least he can coach better than Big Sam. Like honestly, this is what needs to happen for society to progress. You get Neil Warnock, you get Tony Pulis, you get Roy Hodgson, and you get Big Sam. You put them in a field and you find an asteroid and you just drop it. You just drop it on the four of them.
Take Neil Warnock out of there though.
What's this? Iron Man.
You just drop it on them and end it. Like, it's got to be done.
Oh, Jesus.
But I don't see anything for them. I don't see anything for West Brom. They're definitely not coming back up next season, which is a good thing for football.
They're going to lose a lot of players as well, I think.
They've not got anybody worth. There's not anybody there you'd actually want, except maybe that Pereira. Like the rest of their team's woeful.
Pereira will be gone.
Pereira will be gone. I can actually see a Newcastle or somebody getting Pereira. I think the only other one really I would say is Johnston, the goalkeeper, because he has to come out with his head held high. He's made the most saves in the Premier League this season.
We're actually looking at Johnson or Heaton as a backup goalkeeper if De Gea leaves. Fuck off. I don't want either of them back. I do not want either of those two. One of them sucks and the other plays for West Brom.
Connor, serious question. Johnson is backup goalkeeper to Alisson?
I've already had this question asked me before, and no.
Wouldn't take a Cardiff.
He's only turned up for one game all season, and coincidentally it was against Man United.
James Dunlop has said Williams scoring just summed up West Brom's season. Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
Cian Dolan, I will rephrase this. You say first relegation for Big Sam. It's his first relegation in the top flight. I think people forget he got relegated with Notts County as well. I think back in 1990. Yeah.
Mid-90s got relegated.
Yeah, 97, I think it was. Not a bit surprised. Not sad to see the back of the baggies. Get him out to beep.
To be fair, the one thing I will give it to West Brom is that somehow they still did not finish bottom.
Yeah,
that's what Sheffield United are for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you bring in Ramsdale, the specialist in relegations, like that's how football is now. Jose Mourinho's the specialist in sacking. Arsene Wenger's a specialist in failure. Aaron Ramsdale's a specialist in relegations.
2 Chelsea games are the only positives for West Brom, says Matthew McFadden. Had Ainsley Maitland-Niles played, I reckon it would have been a different result. Oh yeah, he was ineligible, wasn't he? And Matthew getting the plaudits from the chat, brilliant from Matthew. Yeah, that comment about the boiler being the mascot. Yeah, obviously we look at Arsenal now. Obviously out of the Europa League to Villarreal.
Yes. I've been waiting for this.
Connor, how long do Arsenal give Arteta? Do you think?
I'd say till the end of next season, personally, because the thing is with Arsenal at the moment, I think you got to look at it and go, who can they bring in that's better than Arteta at the moment? I don't think that there's Rafa, but then will Rafa go to Arsenal? I think that's the other question. Apart from Rafa Benitez, I think he might. I cannot think of anyone else that's better than Arteta. You can bring in Sarri, you can bring in Lampard, but is Lampard and Sarri better than Arteta?
That would be funny. If Lampard went to Arsenal, that would be golden.
It would be golden. But for me, I don't think there is anyone better, apart from Rafa, better than Arteta at the moment for the job.
I get Allegri, but he's learning fluent English to tell them no again. So.
Matthew McFadden, the only noteworthy thing West Brom have ever done is Darren Moore winning Manager of the Month and getting relegated in the same day. I remember
what a fall
that.
from Grace Izad. I mean, he's just been relegated with Sheffield Wednesday, bottom of the league.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I know. Big Sam always gets a result against us, so get West Brom game out of the way quick as possible, says Chris Welsh. I could not agree more. Speaking of relegation, Fulham have to win tonight. Yeah, I said that at the top of the show. I think they're down anyway. Good evening, says Cian Dolan.
I want them to stay up. I've said all season the one team I do not want to go down is Fulham, because Parker's done absolutely brilliant in that job.
Yeah, he has. He has indeed. I think Arteta will get another season as CHELEI. Benitez be perfect for short term to sort them out. Arteta's broken all the bad records at Arsenal. Aaron Guy, please don't change Doug and Co. You guys have been amazing. Love the way you engage with everyone. Keep this up too. When you hit 10k plus, you'll be the kings of YouTube. Well, very, very. I appreciate the kind words, Aaron. Cheers. Thank you. Hopefully they keep him for the next 10 years. It'll be easier to finish in the top 10, says Yeti Boy. Guys, you're forgetting a key factor in relation to Arsenal. Trust the process. Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, definitely. Would Arsenal attract players without European football? And with the state they are in from top to bottom, I don't think they would attract better players. Nathan, what do you think about that?
Don't know. Tricky one, I'd say, but I think they'd struggle to. They don't really bring much in domestically except from their own product, obviously. Like Smith Rowe coming in and sort of those style of players. But apart from that, you're looking at 15th, maybe even a relegation battle for them.
Yeah, definitely. Connor?
They could, based on their history, but I think history can only take you so far. It's where the fact where whoever Arsenal are going to be linked to, like I think, Jose Mauer now is, that today him getting priced at 30 million, which Arsenal fans are like, oh, we're going to go and jump in for him. I don't think Arsenal can get that type of person when other people are looking at him as well. But yeah, well, look, they stressed all summer long, didn't they, last year about getting Thomas Partey, and then look what he's done this season. He hasn't done much, and that's the thing where I think Arsenal, they're going to struggle to sign big names, so then they'll have to look for Plan B and C. And can the Arsenal board really do Plan B and C and come out the better of it? I don't think they can.
Reese, Bernd Leno wants to leave Arsenal because of his lack of Champions League football.
Oh, no.
Consider it a blessing to the Champions League that Bernd Leno isn't in it. Because he is... I'm telling you now, and this is to an Arsenal fan, I told you when we done the tier list show, Bernd Leno is utter shite. He's lucky we put him in the poor category. That's how crap he is, period. Like, he's crap. He sold the wrong goalkeeper. I do not see... And if he wants to leave Arsenal, no big club's going to take him. That includes Spurs. Because they're not a big club either. Like, I don't see him going anywhere that'll actually want him, because who honestly would take a washed-up goalkeeper?
I think he's back to the Bundesliga, funnily enough. I really do. Maybe back to Leverkusen.
If he's smart, he'll go somewhere where he'll actually be appreciated, like a Freiburg.
That's a good show, actually. George Kell says, as a commenter last week said, Arsenal's main issue is that they have a squad full of chuckle fucks. Chris Ross says, if this was another big club, Arteta will have been out of job at Christmas. Arsenal are truly the biggest example of doing absolutely everything wrong at a club, says George Kyle. Players abroad desperate to get home would go to Arsenal. Yep, I think they would. Maybe a season out of Europe could be good for Arsenal to regroup at least, but they are now a mid-table team. Arsenal are delusional. Oh, yes. On that, did anybody see one of the videos from AFTV this week saying that Arteta is going to be another Fergie?
Oh yeah, I've seen them. I've seen them all. Like,
oh my! Yeah,
we're gonna point this. I'm gonna clear this now. He only had one moment in his career where he got sacked, and that was at St Mirren, and he won them a trophy. Ever since then, the man never lost a job. There's no way Arteta or any manager in football should be compared to Sir Alex Ferguson. No one. So whatever Arsenal fan said this, take your head, rotate it, and shove it up your ass.
Can I just ask, was it Ty by any chance?
He is a
deluded fuck. Someone called Julian.
Oh.
Who?
Nathan knows.
Who?
Julian.
Oh, no.
Is it King Julian? Is it the Madagascar character? Because
he has
deluded
brains of him.
King Julian.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Here's a good question. Here's a very good question from Pete Shepherd. I don't want to break up the flow of the show, but what is the worst sell in the opinion of each panel member's club has ever had, as in giving up on a really good young talent?
I think there's one for Man United that comes to mind in a heartbeat. I'm going to say straight away Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Even though he wanted to go, it was horrible that when he left, that's when the whole Glazer couldn't be bothered with the club. It became painfully obvious because we brought in Obertan, we brought in Valencia, who was decent here and there, and we brought in Michael frickin' Owen, the most overrated striker I've ever seen. Like, that says all that you replaced the best player in football, arguably, like around about that era, like the past 16 years or something. Like, Messi's great. I still think I'm still going to say Ronaldo's better, but I appreciate both. But in terms of the Premier League, Ronaldo was untouchable. And then you've got the fact we replaced him with 3 players who were absolutely dog shit. And that's where the Glazers were penny pinching anyway, but this is where the lack of quality we brought in after that, to this day, we are still trying to replace Ronaldo on the right wing. And it's 16 years, it's nearly 12 years down the line. It's embarrassing.
It is. Connor, the one name I think that comes to my mind, I don't know if you'll agree with me this, but Suso. Did we let him go too soon?
No. I think it was the perfect time to get rid of Suso.
He was terrible here.
Yeah, he was terrible at Milan. It's hard for Liverpool because we've had youngsters that have been, there and there. Sterling, maybe, especially to Man City. Michael Owen as well. When he was young, winning a Ballon d'Or and that, then going to Madrid. But yeah, like in recent years, Sterling.
No.
No.
He could not finish an open space now.
To be fair, he had Brendan Rodgers as his manager, so I wouldn't,
And look at him now under Guardiola. He still can't finish he still can't finish. Like, he's absolutely shocking.
I think if
Suarez for you lot, to be honest.
Yeah, I was going to say Suarez. For me, though, Xabi Alonso back in 2008, 2009 was one of our best players. And
Xabi Alonso was only 24, 25 when he signed for Liverpool.
And when we lost him, we lost our whole midfield because Alberto Aquilani was just not it for Liverpool Football Club.
God's sake.
But yeah, I would say Xabi Alonso was Liverpool's biggest miss.
Even I can't deny he was a quality player. I can't deny that. He was like Alonso for Liverpool and Ballack for Chelsea are 2 players I would have had in that Man United midfield. And that period of time. Okay, Nathan, who did you let go too soon?
This is a really difficult question for Cardiff because I wouldn't say that we tend to. We usually go for high-profile names that are trickling towards the end of their career, or we go for players in their prime. Whenever we usually let go of a youngster, it's usually for a good reason, and then they don't fall further from that. So a few of the names that I'm going to throw out, you'll probably think, yes, a bit obvious. Aaron Ramsey, still think he went at the right time after the 2008 season, but he did come back on loan. Shea Ajayi is probably the one that sticks out recently to me. Didn't play a single minute of Cardiff City football, ends up doing quite well at West Brom. And then probably the biggest name out of the last 5 years is Rabi Matondo.
That's a good shout, actually. Yeah, I would agree. Aaron Guy, I actually don't have the option for super chats yet, but I am on 3909 watch hours, so I'm very, very close to those 4,000. So very, very close.
I actually agree with George saying Piqué. Actually,
oh yeah,
Piqué.
Like he was in our Champions League winning squad in 08, and then he went to Barcelona and he beat us in the final the following year.
Yeah, like Emi Martin is arguably the best keeper in the league, and they let him go.
Wait, who?
Arsenal.
Martinez.
Oh, I have to agree with that. That's a player that Arsenal should never have sold.
Brilliant signing for Villa.
Yeah, coming out of a COVID seat. Oh, hang on a minute. A lot of comments now. Dearie me. Most people. What's this? All my days, Arteta is so far from being the next Sir Alex Ferguson, says Diego. Yeah, they're all deluded on AFTV. Understatement of the year, Seamus. Understatement. Apart from DT. DT's the realist one, I think.
I think the two of them, like, obviously, rest his soul, Claude, and like, even though DT's a bit of a twat, and he is a twat, even he would admit it, they are extremely real for Arsenal fans. Like, their attitude, you can tell, like, when they say something, like, they mean it on their sleeve. Like, they will, like, they bleed that shit club.
Diego C. Palace has come up with a very controversial thing, but I actually agree with him. Robbie Fowler was better than Michael Owen.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
1000%.
Fowler gave me nightmares. Even in his latter years, he still gave me nightmares as a player. Michael Owen.
The thing is,
did nothing for me.
Michael Owen had 2 fantastic seasons and was overhyped in that Ballon d'Or year.
How he won that Ballon d'Or in 2005?
No,
that was Ronaldinho. When did he get it?
3, was it?
No, that was
2003.
Nedved was 2003. Shevchenko got it in 04, and Shevchenko got it in 04, so it must have been 05. It was because Ronaldinho got it soon after.
Kian.
Was it 2005 though? Because he left Liverpool in 2004.
Because I know Shevchenko and Nedved got it back, like, in.
Was it 2000?
Shevchenko got.
Can anyone let us know? I swear it's like 2002.
It wasn't 02.
I thought it was 2003, but
2001 it was Zidane. 01 it was Zidane. 2002 it was Ronaldo. 03 I'm sure it was Nedved, and 04 it was Shevchenko.
Maybe it is 2005. Kane Dola, where to start with Liverpool? Morelos, Suso, Reina in comparison to Mignolet, Torres, Alonso. Reina is better than Miggs. Yes, I would absolutely agree with that, Helen. Absolutely agree with that. Selling Xabi Alonso to try and replace him with Alberto Aquilani is like replacing a beautiful brand new Lambo for a burst space hopper.
It was 2001.
01.
Yeah, 2001.
The year you won the year you won that Mickey Mouse treble.
I swear that's a normal treble now for Man United.
No.
Oh dear. Rich Sports is in. Hello, Rich. I said that Fowler was much better. Oh, there we go then. DT is a bit ill into the highest order, but you can tell he has genuine passion. Yeah, absolutely. Jack Maxon. Hello, Jack. Hope you're doing well. Turkish is a realist, says Napoon. Pretty sure you won in 02. Well, thank you for that, Jack. And yes, it's been okay. The TV hasn't, but Doug here has made all the difference to the day. Oh, thanks, Helen. That's very kind of you. Watch Fowler's goal against Man United in Cantona's return match 2. Oh, yes, that was an absolute beauty of a strike. Of a strike. But if you are enjoying the stream, guys, then please hit that like button. And if you are new, please hit the subscribe button as well. So we move on to another topic. And AC Milan win 3-0 against Juventus. The first time they've won at the Allianz Arena. Where do Juventus go from here? I mean, I'll come to you, Reece, first. What has happened to Juventus this season? It looks like they could actually go into Europa League this season.
Good. It's where they belong. Second-rate club, and that's best thing for them. But like, in terms of where they go, if they sack Pirlo, what was the point in getting him in?
Absolutely.
Like, I think it's stupid to sack him after one season because he's having to deal with all these big personalities, and he was only in the under-23s job for like 20 minutes, and then he was promoted to the the main manager's job. So the fact he's only had 1 year to try and deal with like the situation at Juve, if they sack him, then what is the point in bringing him in? I think it'd be stupid to sack him. I think they need a little bit more experience around him in terms of like coaching and management, and they need someone above him that can, like, I think Paratici is like leaving as well, like the director of football, so they're going to have to replace him as well. So Juventus are in free fall, and frankly, I'm all for it.
Nathan, there was a thing earlier that the Italian FA have actually threatened to expel Juventus from Serie A. If that happens, where are they going to go from here?
Serie B and stay there.
Second time this century, and first time get done for match fixing, typical. And then second time trying to literally break away and form a new league because you're not happy with the way things are. and join Real Madrid with the cash. Yeah, they deserve to be relegated. They deserve to be in the pits of Serie B if they absolutely persist and go forth with it. But honestly, going to Pirlo, as Reece said, he said it already. What's the point in getting him? They always knew it was going to be a long-term rebuilding process because they've had that honeymoon period where they win all the Scudettos. However you say it, is that right?
Scudettos.
Thank you, Scudettos.
Yeah.
They've won all the Scudettos over the last 10 years. They're going to have to lose it at some point. I mean, look at Celtic, for example. And personally, it was going to happen at some point because they're going to have that one season where they just need to take their time out, get an experienced manager in, or well, not so much an experienced manager, but some new blood, some fresh ideas. Let him slowly rebuild it and then get back there. And then you should have another long period of success. If they sack Pirlo now, complete and utter waste of time.
Connor, where does Ronaldo end up if Juventus are in the Europa League?
That's the big question. Who takes him? Madrid. Do Madrid fancy getting him back? They probably not. But that's the only team that could Man City do it. Could they throw a mad bid out there? Possibly. But look, I think he'll just stay at Juventus. And I think for Juventus that would be the worst thing possible, because I think if they are talking about this rebuild and they're talking about with Pirlo, because I agree with the lads. I think if they was to sack him, it'll be like, what's the past year been about? What was the point in sacking Sarri?
Mm-hmm.
For me, I think they need to sell Ronaldo to rebuild properly. Yeah. And that might be very controversial to some people, but I do think they do need to get rid of Ronaldo and to have a proper rebuild with Pirlo, have his vision, have his thoughts over the football team and the entire club, because that, for me, what works well, and especially if Juventus want to get back up there, they need to start trusting in Pirlo, because it looks like right now that they don't even trust him with signings, because they got Nedved doing deals there left and right. And for me, as Reece breaks a dish, I just think Juventus...
I'm in a destructive mood.
Juventus just needed a total refresh from top to bottom.
Matthew Mafadian says, I feel bad for Pirlo. Gets his first management job, coaching the youth team, then their owners are like, lol, sorry, you're the main manager now. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What happens when you don't pay? The officials go to rubbish. Juventus good to see real competition. Liverpool Juventus final next year in the then Europa League, says Kaushta Pardeshi. The midfield in particular is absolutely shocking.
It says it all this season that Ronaldo didn't score in both games against Inter. He didn't score against both games against Milan. He didn't score against Napoli, and he didn't score against Atlanta.
George Kyle, they're going to play a Tri-Wizard tournament with Real and Barca. Always good to get a Harry Potter reference in.
You know what I think they should do? They should do exactly what they should have done 4 years ago. Build that team around Dybala. Build it around Dybala. The way Pirlo likes to play football, Dybala actually suits it very well. Build the team around him. Get him in like a proper central role. Don't play him out wide where he's useless. Play him either as an attacking midfielder, similar to what the Platini teams did, what the Zidane team did in the 90s, or play him as like a centre forward and play him as a false nine. Because Dybala is perfect for that team.
Much as I love Ronaldo, United should not take him, says George Kyle. Far as I'm concerned, clubs are still not broke away from Super League. Enjoy ruining your club's history and legacy you ever had. You'd be known as nothing if you don't break away and take part. Ronaldo may be off to America for his final few years, says Seamus. Ipswich to sign Ronaldo on a free. Ipswich. United will sign Ronaldo. Bayern rely on Robert Lewandowski too much. Yep, absolutely. Oops, didn't mean to press that. Ship Ronaldo off to Phoenix Rising. We need a backup striker. Oh, God. Accrington Stanley to sign Ronaldo.
Who are they? Exactly.
Inverness fan. Oh, gosh. Inverness fan, I've just seen your comment. Juventus should buy Morelos.
40 million if you want him.
Any club who pays Aaron Ramsey 400 grand a week in 2021 deserves relegate. 400 grand a week.
He does get a shit buck of money. Yeah,
he does. Yeah,
he isn't worth 100 grand a week.
All I can say is, Aaron Ramsey, it's time. Have your third spell. Come home.
That McKennie's a decent player, but they need something with him as well because he still lacks experience.
He's still young.
Sandro is a really diabolical left back as well. I wonder if the super agents have ruined Juventus. Ronaldo to Sporting, and they're playing Champions League football next season for sure.
100%.
That's actually a smart move.
Bayern will bite the dust soon. Jesus, I'd do a lot for that cash. Can see Ramsey back in England next season. Interesting. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in, Chris. I don't see him.
No one will take a punt on him because they'll have to accept him. That it would have to be a very high transfer fee. Juventus will still want at least 25-30 million from him, which is quite high for a player who's got no talent. And then they would have to try and find a way to negotiate a big pay cut for him. No way he's going to accept that either. The amount of money he's getting in Italy, he could sit there for a year and go, "I'm on the cosh, mate."
The only realistic option I could see him coming back to the UK would be to end his career at Cardiff, but I think that's too early, personally.
Yeah, but Reece, a very good result for AC Milan.
Yeah, the only downside is Ibrahimovic is injured, but other than that, yeah, very good result. I'll take that, and I still think Milan are going to get second. Just pains me that we're going to finish behind Inter.
Yeah. Ramsey to sign for Spurs for the LOL, says Kean Dolan. Ramsey was a cheat code in 2013-14 and anonymous every other season.
Not so much. I disagree.
Yeah. I think he was only good in one season. He wasn't
as well.
He's not been significant enough since then, but
yeah, but you do have to remember Ryan Shawcross. I think he could have had a few extra good seasons after that, and 2011-12 as well on his loan. I thought he had some good moments for us as well. And even getting to an FA Cup final when he was 16 years old. That's unbelievable. Yeah.
But I suppose congratulations to Inter Milan, Connor. They finally ended that Juventus dominance. How impressive have you been with Inter this season?
Very much so. I think, look, it was that battle, wasn't it? Juventus, Milan, and Inter have done it. And look, I think that it can be Chelsea, it can be Juventus themselves. They know what Antonio Conte can do when he's got the backing, and he's done it again. He's took, an Inter team that was, around 4th, 5th place and took them to be champions. And with the downfall of Inter, Juventus, it could possibly be Inter for a few years. The only downside to it is that there's rumours now suggesting that Antonio Conte's going to the Premier League now since he's won in the Serie A. And I'm like, why? Why would he leave? There's rumours that he could be going to Spurs. Yeah, Spurs.
Really?
Very strong rumours.
Wow.
And it's why.
He'd win Spurs a title.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It pains me. It pains to actually think it, but he actually could win Spurs a title.
Well, he's done it everywhere else, and that's the thing. He's done it at Chelsea, did it at Juventus, and now he's done it at Inter. So wherever he goes, he rebuilds and makes teams win.
Yeah. Reece, how far are Milan off a title-winning side, do you think?
I think, based on how the start of the season was, like they went into the season unbeaten off the end of the season before and all that. They went in unbeaten. It's just unfortunate that the unbeaten run ended when it got to February. We were still top of the league by then, but it started to slowly drift and Ibrahimovic got injured. But this team doesn't know how to win anything yet. I think if they get a few more winners in there, a bit more experience, but players that are in their prime though, I don't know. I reckon if they get the right signings in the summer, I reckon they could win the league next year. I reckon they could if they get it right. But if not, then I reckon it could be a year or two away.
James Dunlop is saying, I'd be amazed if no one goes in for Lautaro Martinez, Nathan.
Yeah, I'd be quite slightly surprised as well. He looks like a class player. But then again, would it be an idea for him staying put and developing his experience?
Yeah, that's a point.
Possibly.
Reece, question for you. What do you lot make of Simeone and Inzaghi? I reckon he is decent, but maybe needs more backing from Lazio owners. Also a shame his brother couldn't stay up this season.
Yeah, I think he's a proper good manager, Simeone Inzaghi. He's managed to turn certain players around. He's given a creative outlet to the likes of Milinkovic-Savic. He's given him a good career. He's improved Immobile. Keane, no, Origi is not going to Milan. You can bolt. But Simeone Inzaghi, in terms of manager, he's also been linked to Spurs. I actually think he would do a decent job there. I think he would actually be a quite decent job in the Premier League. He's not a typical Italian manager who's built on defence. He actually can show he can get teams to attack. Him or Gasperini would be perfect in the Premier League. I think both managers are a little bit underrated.
Also,
they're good enough for it.
Also, I have to ask you all this. Jose Mourinho being appointed Roma manager for next season. Connor, your face says it all. What do you make of that?
It's the perfect job for him, isn't it? Slow, boring league, defensive league. It's perfect for him. And that's where Jose Mourinho should be now. He shouldn't be at the top European clubs. He's quite clearly, as you can see, even though I do think the Spurs sack him is a bit unfair, I do think that he's done at the top level of European football. And Roma is kind of the perfect place for him, really.
But they do have new rich owners. That's the annoying thing.
True. That is very true.
New rich American owners.
Very interesting. Nathan, your reaction to Mourinho as Roma manager?
Brilliant job for him. I think he's found his next Porto, personally. He's going to do well there.
I don't think he'll win the league title, but I don't think he'll win the league title, but I think he might win a Europa League, and I think he might win the Coppa Italia a few times.
I think he might get him in the Champions League as well, quite a few times, and maybe runner-up.
Serie A will be full of good managers next season, says Kausta Bardeschi. We battered Roma so bad their manager thought, all right, I'm ahead out, says Matthew McFadden. Mickey and Smalling are bricking it. Mickey and Smalling are bricking it, no doubt.
Hasn't he?
Yeah. I think they'll change it up next year. I think it'll be a bit more. I think you'll see only one proper defensive team, and that's Roma. I think the rest of the the big teams will actually be more offensive.
Yeah. Won a treble with Inter, didn't he, last time he was a big time manager? Yes. Right. Next topic, because I know that Mr. Niblet is going to have to leave us very, very shortly, but he will enjoy this wee topic. When has a manager been appointed and been sacked in the same season? Could we see Mauricio Pochettino get sacked as PSG manager because they are now 3 points behind Lille with 2 games left? It looks like Lille might actually win the league. Connor, can you see Pochettino getting sacked?
1000% because it's PSG. That's the bare minimum for PSG is winning the league. And for don't get me wrong, they'd be absolutely stupid to sack Pochettino. Because for me, Pochettino is probably the best manager out there that was to get for clubs, and PSG got him. And look, I think he come into to PSG, and it was a kind of a car crash from Thomas Tuchel, and look, he did well, went to the semi-finals of the Champions League. Yes, they're second in Ligue, and look, sometimes you miss out on a league. Lille this season's been fantastic. And for me, I think they deserve to win the league, and I hope they go on to win the league as well. Because it's nice to see someone else win the French league. But in terms of PSG, if they was to sack Pochettino, they would be very, very stupid to do so, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, Reece, the big success for Lille this season has been down to 35-year-old Burak Yilmaz, who we'll probably see at the Euros. It's a fairy tale story for Lille, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the last time they won the league coincidentally was 2011, so it says it all really, that it's transpired. I think is good for them. They've got a very good team there, a very core squad that's starting to mature. I don't think they'll win the league. I think a certain team in third may actually clinch it right at the death. But
Lyon.
Who knows? No, Monaco. I think Monaco might sneak in the last 2 games of the season and take it. But if Lille win it, fair play them, they deserve it. Because PSG do not deserve to win the league.
Nope, absolutely not. Nathan, you in agreement with that?
Personally, they got to keep Pochettino. I mean, he's barely had a season. They can't really give an assessment from that. And I mean, you've got to lose a league title at some point, but Lille, they deserve to win it, and we just got to see what happens next year as well. But
yeah,
watch that team get dismantled by PSG though.
Very true.
Yeah,
because it happened when Monaco. It happened when Monaco were tearing them apart on and off the pitch. Like, and it says it all. Like, you honestly, I would expect some of those players, the likes of Renato Sanchez, Samari, maybe Jonathan Akone, Jonathan David, like those four will be high on the list for.
Sumari's going to Leicester.
Is he? Yeah,
confirmed.
Fabrizio Romano tweeted it yesterday, and I think
interesting.
Fofana also tweeted out.
It's a good signing for them if he in fact does go.
30 million.
I think Renato Sanchez will end up in the Premier League again. He deserves a chance to prove himself.
Aaron Guy says 1 Premier League, 2 Serie A, 3 La Liga, and Farmers League maybe 4th. If Lille can do the job this year, PS Bundesliga is a joke, and I would say Portugal 5th, actually, especially with Sporting finally there.
I wouldn't really say that the French League's a Farmers League anymore. It's starting to get back his competitive edge.
I don't see it yet. I don't think. Potentially.
It's got some way to go, but it's getting.
It needs more money in that league. It needs more money in that league from other clubs. Like the likes of Marseille, they need to be able to financially compete because they've still got it behind them. I think there's a few others in there, like Saint Etienne, like give like a decent squad, but they need a bit of backing in there. They can effectively turn that league in. They need at least 6 teams to be a competitive league, like strong core.
I mean, you have the likes of Monaco around there, Nantes, but look at the state of Nantes now. They have gone massively down.
I agree.
But there's some great historic clubs there. It's just they haven't been backed. And it's just sad to see that way in Ligue.
Chelsea fans are in for a shock with Tuchel. Starts off really well, but constant selection of squad players and an inability to change things will be his downfall. I'd give him 3 years at most, says Matthew McFadden. I can't see Poch. What was that? I can't see Poch given time at PSG as a result. Business at PSG. PSG pretty shit grafters. I like that. Sven Botman doing bits at the back. Oh yeah. Connor, can you see us going back in for Sven Botman?
No. It's either going to be Kanate Kabak or Kanate collect a car for Liverpool.
Oh, collect a car. Yeah. I absolutely agree with that. France TV deal collapse has made them all skin in the Ligue 1. Yep. Saint Etienne need to get rid of Puel. Is that where he's at now?
Yes.
I agree completely.
The thing is with Puel, he always has an absolutely brilliant start, but he runs out of steam and then he just has this awful run. Can't get out of it and you just got to sack him. It's happened at Southampton. Definitely happened at Leicester. Towards the end, Happens at Saint Etienne. Look where they are now.
Yeah.
It's such a weak manager as well. Like he's got no spine as well. He's got no spine to change things.
Absolutely. Connor, you're going to have to leave, I'm afraid.
Yes, I have to leave. Sorry, people.
That's all right.
Oh, well, thank you very much for coming on.
Absolute pleasure, man. Thank you for having me on, as always.
Oh, no problem. And I will see you on Friday for our Liverpool podcast. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, really looking forward to it, to be fair. We've got a couple of good people on.
Aye, indeed we do. Right,
I might just tune in when you are sitting there just so I can watch you cry when you get beat.
Wait there, Reese. If we beat you, can I watch you cry on camera?
Ooh.
Yeah, but there's one thing that's never going to happen. I'm never going to cry on camera.
No, just cry.
Oh, fighting talk. Right.
I might be angry.
Connor, take care,
I
my
might
friend.
be angry, but if I have to come on Friday to prove a point, I'll do it.
Okay.
Take care, Connor.
See you in a bit, lads.
See you in a bit. Yeah, Connor. Great to get him on. Great to get him on as well. But yeah, I absolutely agree. I think the thing is, I think Nathan summed up about Claude Puel for
Agreed.
sure. Just one quick question. I did see somebody said that the La Liga title race could go down to the final day.
Barcelona. Barcelona
You
are
think
going to take that
Barcelona?
title. Yeah. I was
I'm
saying
still
Real
saying
Madrid for quite a while.
I
was saying Real
Atletico
Madrid for
just
quite
edge
a
it.
while, but I was saying Real Madrid for quite a while, but recent games they have done nothing to convince that they actually want the league. I actually don't think they care. I think Barcelona are showing that they really do want it, because I think Koeman, he's made some decisions that weren't good in terms of certain players he moved on in certain fashion, perhaps wasn't great. But the fact that he's managed to persevere with this team this whole year when he's had constant criticism about his management, and I think I've said it all year, I think he's a good manager. It's just there's been times where it's a little bit hasty or wrong decisions, but what manager doesn't? I think Atletico are still lucky to be top of the league. Back-to-back games where they've been ridiculous. They're just lucky to still be top of the league. I don't think they're going to stay there.
They are very, very fortunate, for sure. Helen Raybould, thank you very much for tuning in. Hope you are well and enjoy your evening. The rest of your evening. Thank you for tuning in. George Cal says Real Madrid. Cian Dolan, Espanyol can still win it, right? No. Definitely not. By the way, if you lads are free tomorrow, you reckon any of you can do a quick watch along for Sporting title win, as they could do it mathematically if they beat Boa Vista tomorrow, unless Porto fail to win tonight?
I'm not available.
The problem is, I don't really have Premier Sports.
I haven't watched a Portuguese game since Fernandes left.
Oh well, there you go then. Real Madrid have had 61 injuries all season long, says Kaushtu Pardesi. Wow. Diego, Espanyol are promoted already. Lol, same for Salernitana, too, in Serie B today. Nipun's asked, what Premier League side would suit Gian Piero Gasparini?
Spurs.
Probably
he likes
Spurs.
working. He likes working with young players. He likes working with a team that's like a slight underdog in terms of challenging for the top. I think he'd be perfect for Spurs, but I don't think they're going to get him. I think they'll look at him and go, we've already tried an older manager, Mourinho, but the difference is Gasparini actually plays exciting football. I think he'd be a worth a punt. The problem is he's going to be in potentially his third season in a row in the Champions League. So I doubt he's going to leave Atlanta, and we'll see how he copes next year without his main man Gomez, because obviously they sold him in January. It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I think Spurs are the right choice, though. I think Spurs.
Yeah. Jack Mack LFC is tuned in, and he's asking, reckons Zidane will last again, or will he get sacked?
Tricky. I think he might be gone.
Yeah.
They need something new.
I think he's gone. Dries?
Don't win the league. If they don't win the league, then Zidane will be let go.
I was wondering who Aiden was. Spurs are seriously in debt. Yep, they are. James Dunlop has said it's still 0-0 at Fulham, so we're not missing much then. And sometimes we're free sports too. I'm going to be at the Sporting Lisbon bar with the fans tomorrow anyway, so it should be lit if they don't screw up. Oh, enjoy, Aaron. Enjoy. Quite jealous of that. Harry Kane and Son should be trying to leave this summer. You only get one career, and you don't want to look back on your medal cabinet and just see a milk monitor ribbon.
And the Audi Cup.
Yeah. Raul linked to the job at Madrid. Raul. Ooh.
That'll be
He's still in the... I think he's still in the... Is he not managing the Real Madrid Castilla side? So I think that makes sense. I think you go for a big club legend, and Raul's a bigger legend than Zidane at Real Madrid anyway. I think it's an interesting option, but I think they might go for something a bit different. I think they might go for Allegri.
Right, next topic, because obviously we are talking about inexperienced managers. Now, Wayne Rooney has just got Derby to survival.
Not necessarily.
Exactly. There has been talks today that apparently Derby could still go down because of financial fair play. So inexperienced managers, Reese, what do you think? Who's the worst inexperienced manager, I think, in your opinion?
My opinion? I'm gonna say Frank Lampard. I'm gonna say Lampard, and the reason I'm saying Lampard is even though he's been crap for Arsenal, Arteta's won a trophy. At least he's actually won something when it. At least he's won something when it counts. What's Lampard done? Like effectively, he's done nothing except he got Chelsea into the top 4, and he got them Champions League football. But they haven't done anything special, and he didn't do anything special. He wasn't particularly good at Derby either. I mean, that team should have been finishing in the top 2.
They should have won the league.
Exactly, but it's a shame for Wayne Rooney as well. I'm going to have to comment on him.
As well.
Burnley are 1-0 up, apparently.
Yeah, they've scored. Comment on Rooney. He's not a great manager, but mind you, he's only been in the job about half a season, and they were still in the same. And they were still in the same position as they were when he took over. Just points wise, they weren't better off. If they do get deducted points now, they will go. I feel sorry for him, but the one thing I will say is, if he gets backed in League One and he's actually kept in the job, if Derby aren't stupid, he'll get them promoted with flying colours. I think they would. I think they would come straight back up with the squad they've got if they back him properly. But if I'm going to have to say the worst inexperienced manager, I'm going to say Lampard.
Okay. George Kell says Mikel Arteta.
No, I'd say there's definitely worse.
But he's won something. He's won something though. That's the only thing. He won the
FA Cup, didn't he?
And look at the teams they beat on the way to winning that trophy. Like he actually, significantly done something. But Lampard didn't do anything. So, but I get where he's coming from. But I would say in terms of like out there, I would say it's Lampard then Arteta.
Yeah. Matthew McFadden agrees with you, Reese. He says Lampard is the most overrated new manager. You'd think he won the league with Derby when in reality he went from 6th to 6th. Could be all right, but way off a high level now.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
Wayne Rooney, United legend, but I'm surprised he went into management.
He's always wanted to do it.
Yeah, he's been saying it for years that he wanted to go into management. He's always wanted the Man United job.
James Dunlop has said, as it stands with Burnley winning, Fulham are relegated.
Good.
Sadly. I didn't want Fulham to go down. Like I think Scott Parker, he's done a very good job there, but they didn't spend. Like they didn't spend to back him, and it's inevitable. It happened to Norwich, and they're going to repeat the same thing next year.
Right. Exactly. I'm gonna guess that this is Neil. Because Beyond the 90 have just popped in. Hello, Beyond the 90. I think it will be Neil. He's saying Maguire out for the season. Is that true?
Maguire is out, yeah, but I don't know if it's for the season. But he is out. They're going to monitor him, so there's a chance he might not play against Liverpool as well.
Ooh, interesting.
We'll wait and see. If he is out for the season, that's actually quite an interesting thing, though.
Rooney doesn't strike me as a manager. If he still had that early 20s aggression, he'd be good, but seems very passive to me.
Getting as a manager.
Sorry. Nathan, did Cardiff play Derby with Rooney in charge?
Yes, we did, and we annihilated them 4-0.
Oof.
They were utterly dire when we played them. Bearing in mind their squad is actually very good. They got the best, what you could say is the best goalkeeper in the league. They've got some brilliant defenders in there, even though they have sold quite a few. They've got some good attacking options in the likes of Tom Lawrence and vice versa. They should be doing so much better, but their finances are a mess.
Yeah.
Mel Morris has completely messed up the last 2 seasons of what he's of how he's led them. I thought he was one of the better owners in the Championship. Now he's one of the worst, along with Chansiri and those Muppets at Sheffield Wednesday. Both of them will end up getting relegated, and it's typical what happens with these Championship clubs. You have these 2-3 seasons where they plough as much money in as they possibly can to try and get them into the Premier League, but when they bottle it and then they realise that they have broken the really strict financial fair play rules in the Championship, and I do mean it's strict, then they stop spending money, they get pumped with all these fines, they lose interests, they get embarrassed, and then they end up getting them relegated, which it happens all the time. It's happened to us, it's happened to so many other clubs, and it'll always keep on happening.
Matthew McFadden says, from what I can see, the Maguire out for the rest of the Premier League season news originated from the rag, but it wouldn't surprise me if that happens to be that. By the way, it is Neil. Evening, everyone. Evening, Neil. I don't trust Eric or Axel.
I don't agree with George's comments. Bailly and Tuanzebe are reliable deputies. Not a chance. Tuanzebe is crap. Mbaye is too unpredictable, and he's not somebody I rely on at defence. In fact, he also mentioned Matic. No, not Matic at centre back. No, I would not risk that.
Kieran's actually got a very good comment there. One example I always come to is the Venky's at Blackburn. Absolutely ruined Blackburn.
Yeah.
And they're still suffering now, to be honest. I mean, things are starting to get gradually better, but they are still poor. Tony Mowbray, I still can't believe he's done such a good job with them, getting him back into the Championship, but they're just going to hibernate in the league table and they're going to lose their key players. Bradley Dack's an injury liability, even though he's got some great quality, but really just a B-Tech Lee Tomlin. And then Adam Armstrong, he's going to be in the Premier League soon and he's peaked out this season, done well, but he's going to go.
Yeah, Bayern Twanzebe are good as second choices. Don't really strike me as a good partnership. Seem very erratic, says Matthew McFadden. Leicester broke financial fair play rules, but we got promoted, so we didn't get much of a punishment.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, if Derby go down because of the financial fair play breaches, does that mean Wycombe stay up, Nathan?
Correct.
Wow.
Which is also stupid. Because Wycombe have been deserved to go relegated all season. They should still go down. Just put somebody else up from the League One.
I do slightly have to disagree with that because their run of form in the last 2 months has been absolutely superb. I think they've
still been in the situation of being in the relegation zone. They shouldn't be given a free pass of staying up though.
Exactly.
They should do a final playoff game between Wycombe and whoever's failed to reach the playoffs for League One, like Portsmouth. They lost it to Oxford in the last day. I would consider that as an option.
It's the AFL though. At the end of the day, they always do this absolutely stupid decisions throughout it. But I think the good thing that the EFL actually do is their strict financial fair play rules, which just put them in the Premier League. And then we'd actually clean it up then.
Yeah. Reese Bish is in. Evening, mate. Sorry to hear about your granddad. DM's always open. Thank you, Reese. I really do appreciate that. Cian Dolan says, if you're going to break the rules, make sure you win. Exactly. Look at the fines comparing Sheffield Wednesday and the Super League clubs. It is a joke.
Great point, Neil.
It's a very good point, actually.
They just get in Super League clubs, if they get all the money and they're like the poster boys for all of this, they just get a slap on the wrist. Sheffield Wednesday, 12-point deduction, reduced to 6. That's got you relegated from the Championship. You're going to suffer in League One. Owners are going to sell the club back where you were 10 years ago. No development then.
To be fair, we still don't know. To be fair, we still do not know what the 14 Premier League clubs agreed to. Exactly. They did agree to something. They've not disclosed what it is. We do not know what that is yet.
Nothing's been said about that. Nothing has been said about that.
I guarantee they'll agree something strong. Like if they were to, they would agree. Like this is what we want.
So Nathan, what I want you to do, because I'm going to obviously have to charge my phone. Let me know what managers will be staying and going in the Championship, and I'll put my camera off for that.
List 2 seconds. Bear with me, guys.
Interesting.
Don't forget Wigan got relegated because of that last season. Exactly. They didn't get a free pass, to be fair to them. They got put down straight away.
Burnley have scored again.
Really?
That's it. Yep. It's now 2-0 Burnley.
RIP Fulham.
Yeah, bye-bye Fulham.
Bye-bye Fulham. But who is it that Wigan replaced last season? Because they had that huge points deduction. They were and they had a great season as well. They hovered around mid-table because they destroyed Hull 8-2 or something ridiculous. And then they ended up losing all their key players, such as Kiefer Moore, for example. Jamal Lowe. Oh, I don't even want to mention that name. But anyway, getting back to Championship managers, Valerian Ismail, Barnsley, staying, no doubt about it. Lee Boy is staying as well. Tony Mowbray, he's been there for 4 years. They're probably going to end up keeping him, I imagine. Jonathan Woodgate, in theory, I wouldn't keep him, but I don't know. He is only.
I don't see him staying personally. I don't see him staying.
If they don't go up, he won't stay. But if they do, he'll stay, I reckon, and then he'll get sacked in the Prem. Thomas Frank, 100% staying. Pearson, He's barely had any time. He's going to stay. How did Bristol City get him? Mick McCarthy, no doubt about it, he's staying. Mark Robbins, he's going to stay. He's been okay at Coventry. Wayne Rooney, they should, in theory, keep him. Carlos Corberán, he's got a massive rebuild at Huddersfield. He's going to stay. Nathan Jones, undoubtedly, he's going to stay. Warlock confirmed he's staying.
I reckon he'll be gone by midway through the season. Nathan Jones.
Yeah. Oh, Nathan Jones next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got a good feeling he'll get sacked by January.
Because I mean, he's had a great season this year, building well, but it's the second season syndrome from him every single time. Even going into the Championship, I thought he was particularly poor as well. Gary Rowett, Millwall mid-table, probably the most inconsistent club in the Championship as well. Daniel Farke obviously staying. Chris Hughton, he'll stay, even though he's had a poor year. He needs a season. Frankie McAvoy has just been appointed Preston North End manager after Alex Neil did end getting sacked earlier in the season. Preston were absolutely terrible. I'm not sure how Frankie McAvoy is going to actually do, to be honest. Golfing is going to be more mid-table mediocrity. Mark Warburton absolutely staying at QPR. Really risen up well in the leagues. Veljko Paunovic definitely staying at Reading. If they sack him, they're idiots. Paul Warne, he's going to stay at Rotherham to rebuild next season and get them promoted once again. Very unlucky not to stay up once again there. Darren Moore staying at Sheffield Wednesday. He's going to help them rebuild in League One. Michael O'Neill, he's going to stay at Stoke. He's been okay. Steve Cooper, that's obvious. And then Cisco at Watford, obviously staying, but he's going to get sacked in the Premier League, of course, unsurprisingly. And then Gareth Ainsworth is going to have his 9th year at Wycombe Wanderers. There is my summary.
Very, very good. Yeti Boy says, I like Nigel Pearson, but I can't see Bristol trusting him and letting him sign his own players as long as he doesn't strangle anyone again.
I'll rate that comment.
What about teams that are going down? Big Sam and Parker. I think Big Sam's gone. Parker, I think, will stay, though. I think Parker will stay.
He will get in playoffs as well, because I know he's going to do a good job for him. It's just how they move forward from here and what players they lose.
So what are the playoffs in the Championship? Because I was looking at this earlier, and I kind of forgot about them.
It is currently Bournemouth, Brentford, Swansea, Barnsley. Tasty ties.
It's going to be Bournemouth, I think.
I think
it'll be the same 3 teams.
I think Brentford will be Bournemouth.
I think they will as well. It's just because Jonathan Woodgate and certain areas that they have certain weaknesses there.
And I'm sorry,
they struggle with all season.
And I'm sorry, Reese Bish. I think Barnsley will beat Swansea.
I'm not. Yeah, Barnsley will beat Swansea. Sorry, Reese, but either way, that's another year for you in the Championship, and probably Steve Cooper's one more season if he doesn't get you up, and then they got him there. He's gone to the Prem.
Beyond the 90 have said the following: the Watford manager getting sacked just because it is Watford and they change managers every 3 months. Yeah,
I mean they've already done it in the Championship. I mean Watford, I think they were 6th in the league, sacked him.
Oh, okay. So Reese has come up with Brentford have done the double over Bournemouth, and Swansea have done the double over Barnsley. Interesting.
That is interesting. But the thing is with Swansea, though, is I just have concerns over your recent form and where your goals have disappeared to be honest. I unfortunately, I can't back you with that. And even though I'm a Cardiff fan, so that's going to be definitely biased, but I'm just looking at stats here. I can't back it.
Shane O'Donnell is saying, I really want Brentford to the Premier League. Brentford are
Brentford that I want up, but it's not. I want Brentford to come up, but I don't think it will be. I think it will be Bournemouth.
I think it'll be Bournemouth.
I think it'll be the same 3 teams. Yeah.
Final would be Bournemouth, Swans, or Swans edging it, says Aaron Guy.
No chance.
Watford have had more managers than I've had meals this year, and I'm severely overeaten.
Oh dear, I love that.
I'm just hoping the Welsh government allows us to go in, says Reese.
Unfortunately, Reese, it's Drakeford. He's already said no. So they're going to be at a massive disadvantage. Honestly, I mean, you saw my reaction last week on the weekend. That I'll just leave it there, so just to keep politics out of this. But
Kane's asked a very good question. First trio to go down, then bounce straight back up.
It could be.
Yeah, I
think
said
this
that a few
happened
weeks
before,
ago. I said that a few weeks ago on this show. Is what is going to happen. It'll be the same 3 teams that go up, and it'll be the same 3 teams that go down, in the exact same order.
Mhm.
Very interesting. Just very, very quickly, Nathan, do you know the League One playoffs at all?
Yeah.
Oxford is the only team I know. Oxford nicked it for Portsmouth on the last day.
Very, very lucky. So
Portsmouth
it
lost
is-
to Accrington as well.
it is Blackpool versus Oxford versus
Oxford.
Sunderland, and then Sunderland, Lincoln City.
Yes, Sunderland. It'll be Sunderland versus Oxford final, and it'll be Oxford that goes up.
Yeah, Sunderland don't come up from the playoffs. They never, ever do. So I would agree with that one.
Yeah, Sunderland are going out in the semis.
League Two, I think did Newport get playoffs?
Yes, Newport made it.
Just.
Well, this is all. Because Cheltenham, Cambridge, and Bolton will be in League One next season. Obviously, Cheltenham champions, and then that will make it Morecambe versus Tranmere, and then Newport County versus Forest Green in a very close derby.
I actually think Forest Green might tip that. I think Forest Green might tip them.
Yeah, because Newport, you can't predict them.
Tranmere lose. I hope Tranmere lose just so that bald-headed clown of a referee can watch his team stay in League Two.
Yes.
That'll be Mike Dean then.
Yeah.
I hope Sunderland lose because that's funny, says Kane Dolan. Bottom promoted Neve is delighted, and obviously Theo and Thogden and Thogdad will be pleased about both as well.
I'm glad Bolton are promoted. I want them back. I want them to hurry up and get back into the Premier League. Bolton.
No, they're in anytime soon.
They were a great
side. Won't be, but it won't be for a while. But I still want them back up there. I want Blackburn back up in the Premier League at some point. 2
clubs with absolutely brilliant fan bases.
Absolutely, absolutely agree with you. And yeah, Blackburn have been away for far, far too long. So the last topic we're going to discuss tonight, as I do know that time is getting ahead of us, is the FA Cup final between Chelsea and Leicester. Now,
yep, he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. Anyway, with this one, I really want to see Leicester win some silverware. They've never won the FA Cup, surprisingly, for a team that is that stature. And I think they're one of many sides that have won, a small number of sides that have won the Premier League, but have never won the first division, but have never won the FA Cup. Usually they come hand in hand, and you win one at some point, and then you win one at another point. But I think it's time for Leicester, and Brendan Rodgers, he's going to have them in for it. Chelsea, I think they're going to have their attention too much on the Champions League final coming up, and towards getting in the top 4 as well, to guarantee them Champions League football, to back them for the end of next season. But I just think Leicester have enough for it, and they're going to throw all their eggs in their basket. And honestly, if they get the FA Cup, I think they won't mind taking European football or Europa League football for next season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I reckon so. And Cian, no, we do not want Nottingham Forest back up, because that gives Mark Goldbridge a reason to actually be proud to be a Flaming football fan.
Exactly. They won't be up for a while either. They're struggling.
Man United are staying in the Premier League. I actually agree, but I agree with where you're coming from. I actually don't think they're going to win. I don't think they'll win it, though. I think Chelsea will be too strong for them. But if they do win the FA Cup, fair play to Leicester, but I think it's going to be too strong. The quality of Chelsea, they've played well under Tuchel as of late. They may be fully focused on the Champions League final, but even so, even if their mindset, like Tuchel will get them up for this game.
The silverware at Chelsea, won't he?
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. I think sorry about that. My phone was playing up. I honestly do think that I think Chelsea will win, but it would be nice to see Leicester win it, but I just don't see it.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that.
It's going to be tight, but then again, when you have these sort of knockout tournaments, Leicester don't ever seem to do well in them. I mean, going back, look at when they've been promoted and stuff. They constantly bottle the playoffs, especially, well, we were there, but we've always been their banana skin. Sorry for bringing up Neil once again. But
don't apologise for the truth.
Absolutely. But they always seem to do it. It's either that they have to do something completely outright or they just completely bottle it.
Yeah.
Can they change the tide this time? That is the question.
No.
Yeah,
Sadly, they won't.
We shall see. We shall see. See, very, very indeed, guys. If you want to get your questions in for us, then this is the time to do so.
And I've actually, funnily enough, found my Kindle Fire HD10 that I've not used in like 2 years. It's on charge, so I will jump. Yeah, I'm going to jump in the comments and I'll reply to any comments, questions as well if you've got any you want to type out. So you've got 2 out of me this time. Funnily enough, it's been a while since I've used this damn thing.
Cian Dolan is saying his favourite playoff moment is Hogg, Deeney, sorry, Neil.
I don't blame him.
That's got to be up there. It's either that or when, or that penalty shootout, David Marshall.
Christian Pardeshi has asked, who will be perfect for the Spurs job?
I think it's either, for me, it'll either make sense if it's Brendan Rodgers because they're a specialist in bottling. Sorry, Neil. Or I think, personally, you take a hit, you go for Claude Puel. Not Claude Puel, they've done that. Because we've been mugging him off all night, that would be so funny. No, what I was thinking is they go for Gasperini. I'd actually like to see Gasperini take the job.
Dean Winders-Bolly is up there as well. Player of the season, says Bluebird Legend, or will there be a season awards podcast? I think the player of the season for me is Ruben Diaz.
Ruben Diaz, said it all season, or I've said it since January at least. Got to be him, 100%. Oh, Eddie Howe, good option for Spurs that, but
yeah,
too risky.
He's without Tyndall.
Not a question, says Reese, but good to see Sol Bamba back. I 100% agree.
Yes, I agree.
So glad to see him back, and great to see his recovery going. It looks like he's going to get another year at Cardiff City before his retirement. He did have plans to stay on until he's 40, but with the ACL injury, he's subbed in the Prem, and then this, obviously coming through the sad news, he's started to do his coaching badges now. So all I can say
great news. Yeah.
is he is going to be a Cardiff manager in the future.
Can we see Parker to Spurs?
No. They won't take it.
Pull him up first.
You could see Klinsmann, though. You could see Klinsmann at Spurs, which is actually a very good option.
The thing is, I think the school prefect is too smart, especially when it comes to his management jobs. And he is going to... Prefect? Yes, the school prefect. I mean, look at the guy. He's going to want to establish and get something going at a club and keep it consistent, do a good job there, and then slowly transition into something bigger. He doesn't seem the guy who likes to make big steps in management, and I think Mark Noble will be the same.
That's true. There must be a mistake. I thought you said Ruben Diaz when the answer is Cavani, says George Kyle. Burnley comfortably beating Fulham, says Bluebird Legend. Klinsmann to Spurs, a good shout. That frozen Reese image is cursed.
How?
It was a thing of beauty, though.
I am just. What can I say? That's me actually just saying.
Roberto Martinez or Marco Silva for Tottenham. Oh, Jesus.
If Marco Silva took over Spurs, they get relegated.
They would be an absolute laughing stock.
Oh gosh, that would be funny. Sean Dyche as a shock appointment, probably never happen.
I'd say Sean Dyche will probably go for the England job after Burnley, even though that could go either one of two ways.
Yeah. Imagine they did, though. That would be absolutely brilliant.
I would love that.
It would be very. Paul Jewell.
The good thing.
Oh
no.
What? Paul, is he still managing?
Me of that man. Yeah,
No,
I think he's out still in like the southern ends of India or something managing.
Oh, is he? All right.
Well, probably not, but that's just. I'll have a look. Where is this man?
George Kyle predicted winner of the Euros for everyone. I will.
No,
Germany.
I'm going Portugal.
He's actually at Bursco FC.
Where's that?
No way he is. He's in Burkina Faso.
No, Bursco FC,
who the
which
heck are they?
is a Sunday League club, just west of Southport. No, east of Southport.
Never
Woodward
heard
League.
of them.
Yeah, George Kyle's agreeing with me. I said Portugal.
Can I check screen
I
grab
think-
just to show Reese?
Portugal will get like
Yeah, should be able to. I
quarterfinals.
think should be able to. France are my tip to win. It says James Dunlop. Italy or Portugal for me, says Kaushta Pardeshi. Which 3 Welshmen have Premier League goals or assists this season? Ooh. Bale,
Mm-hmm.
Dan James,
Yeah, Bale.
Dan James.
Tyler Roberts.
Yeah.
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 I'm going Ireland. Wait, says Kean Tolan.
Uh,
Oh, maybe next season, Keelan. Maybe well, no, actually, the Euros are not next season. Sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah. Have you got a better manager then possibly?
I agree.
Daniel James, Gareth Bale, and Ben Davis.
I thought Tyler Roberts had scored.
I thought he had scored as well. Where's everyone else today? Josh has a family event, and we had Connor earlier as well.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, guys, I think I'm going to end it there. Thank you to everyone who has watched this evening. Really do appreciate it. And yeah, it's been a very, very good podcast. Obviously, I think Josh will be back next week. And yeah, we'll definitely have more guests on next week as well. But big thank you to obviously Connor for coming on, and Nathan and Reese as always. Guys, if you have enjoyed this, please hit the like button, please hit the share button, and please hit the subscribe button as well. But until then, have a great weekend with for everyone, and it should be a very good weekend as well. And until next weekend, or next week, I should say, next weekend, I will see you all later. There is my end thing. So, good night from all of us. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye, lads. Woo!
Woo!